x raised to power 5 divided by 3 plus 2x raised to power 4 divided by 3 minus 3x is equal to 0. Find the value of x. This question is a question that you must understand how to solve an algebra with trick and better understanding. Stay tuned to watch this solution to the end so you can also get a trick to solve every tedious mathematical questions in algebra. In solving this question, there is some fact that you need to know. We call it a mixed reaction, mixed fractions. This mixed fraction, you are going to turn it to a singular fraction. You said 5 can be written as 1 whole number 2 over 3, which is 1 plus 2 over 3. The same thing, that's the meaning of 5. And that is 5 over 3. That's 5. So we have 4 over 3 can be written as 1 whole number 1 over 3, which is, we now write it as 1 plus 1 over 3. So these are the tricks that I want to use to solve these questions. How does it work? Now let's go further. So in writing x raised to power 5, you can decide to now write x raised to power 5, 3 plus 2x raised to power 4 divided by 3 minus 3x is equal to 0. So you now decide to write x raised to power 1 onto x raised to power 2 over 3 plus 2 x raised to power 1 onto x raised to power 1 over 3 minus 3x. Now, how does it work? Because remember there is a law of indices that says a raised to power n at the same time raised to power n. What happened to this? You multiply the index together. So in another form, this one is now quite different because you cannot use this. That's why I first write it. You now say that there is another law of indices as a raised to power n times a raised to power n. It will give you a onto m plus n. That's just the fact that this will now give us this. So, meaning that if we had 1 plus 2 over 3, will surely give us 5 over 3. 1 plus 1 over 3 will surely give us 4 over 3. That is the logic we explain here. That is the logic we want to use. Now, let's now rewrite this to have x onto x squared divided by 3 plus 2x onto x raised to power 3 minus 3x is equal to 0. Now, what did you observe? You observe that this is x, this is x, this is x. So x is common. Let's remove x. We have x, bracket open, x raised to power 2 over 3 plus 2 onto x onto 1 over 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So, therefore, recall, I'm able to explain a law the other times that this x, as it is, we write x onto 1 over 3 whole squared can be written as x onto 2 over 3. So these two factors are same. So therefore, let's say x raised to power 1 over 3 is equal to n. Let's represent it by n. So because by the time you multiply these two with the law I wrote here that a raised to power n at the same time raised to power n will give us this. So therefore, this equation will now give us a quadratic equation to have x onto m squared plus 2n minus 3 or is equal to 0. So by factorizing this plus 2m can also be plus 3m minus n. So therefore we have x onto m squared plus 3m minus m minus 3 is equal to 0. We factorize it out to have m is common. We have m plus 3. Here, minus 1 is common. We have m plus 3, which is equal to 0. So we have x. We have x onto m minus 1 onto m plus 3. Everything equal to 0. So now, recall that if these three things multiply each other and they are equal to 0, it means that x can be 0 or m minus 1 is equal to 0 or m plus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 or m is equal to 1 or m is equal to minus 3. So if s is equal to 0 and our m, recall that our m is s raised to the power 1 over 3, nearby, which is equal to 1. So since, which is equal to, yes, 1. If our s raised to the power 3 is equal to 1, meaning that x raised to the power 1 over 3, find the cube root of the both sides, meaning that x is equal to 1. In another form, recall that m is s raised to the power 1 over 3 is equal to minus 3. So let's find the cube of the both sides. We have the cube of the both sides raised to the power 3. So therefore, this will cancel this. Our x will give us minus 27. So now, since our x now minus 27, so the equation that now satisfy these equations, the value of x that satisfy these equations will now give us. So our x is equal to 0, our x is equal to 1, and x is equal to minus 27. Thanks for watching.